Today we are in for a treat with my good friend and client Callum. So before we go into his situation, I'll let Callum just give you a bit of an overview. If you could just let everyone know who you are, what you do.
Sure. I've been in e-commerce and online business for coming up to 10 years. Leaving the UK, working remote is something I've always wanted to do. Just wasn't sure exactly how to go about it. Last year met Lewis and streamlined the whole process.
So obviously we'll go into us working again in a bit more detail, but in terms of you actually leaving the UK, what was the point that you thought, actually, I want to leave, enough is enough? Because I know you were on the fence for quite a while, so what was the point you actually thought, no, I actually want to leave?
So I first left the UK as like a trial in 2024. Went to Thailand for 2 months, came back to the UK, wasn't having a good time, so I went out to Vietnam, did a little bit of travelling for 7 months the following year. Got back home, same feeling of just like, what am I doing back home? And that's when I made the decision to work with Lewis at the end of 2025.
2025, yeah. So in terms of where your business is at, obviously pre-leaving and post-leaving, obviously you don't have to speak exactly about your numbers, but it'd be good to give the viewers a bit of an understanding, because you've scaled up pretty fast. And that,
Yeah.
Would you say that, obviously saving the tax has been the reason for that, or what do you think?
Yeah, so I'd say for me personally, I've always been a little bit put off scaling, just because obviously you hit the different tax brackets, you lose more of what you earn, and you kind of think, if I can get by on 30k a year, is it worth the extra work making 40, 50k a year when you lose most of it? So until I started working with Lewis, I was kind of put off scaling, to be honest, but yeah, since we've sorted everything out, as you know, my earnings have just got better and better.
Do you know, it was a bit frustrating from my end, because I could always see you had so much potential to scale, and you were keeping it obviously below certain thresholds.
Yeah.
And obviously since you've now moved, you've really scaled massively. I mean, obviously not speaking into numbers, but in terms of 2x, 3x, 4x, how much would you say your business has increased since making that move? Because it's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's probably about 4 or 5x at the minute.
In what, six months?
Yeah, 4 or 5 months, to be fair.
Would you say all of that is just probably down to the tax you've saved, or other factors?
Yeah,
what
and just like kind of really changing my mindset about making money online. Like, I always knew, obviously, I had the skill set to do it. I was just like so put off with the tax, what you lose. And another big thing for me is, I hired 2 VAs to help me work on the business. Now, obviously, that's a lot easier when you're saving the tax, because the money you'd spend in tax, I can now freely reinvest that into the business. So,
so you're saying all the tax savings you put back in your business, and now you've 3 or 4x. Yeah, it's interesting.
Because obviously, if you're paying like UK tax, you can't always afford like a staff member. But it makes it a lot easier when you're making those savings. If
you had to quantify, how much tax do you think you were paying? I obviously know, but how much do you think? How much do you think you would be paying now if you were still in the UK? Just to give the viewers a bit of an understanding of the savings. It's pretty life-changing, I would say.
Yeah, it is quite life-changing. I don't know, we're definitely in like 5 figures.
In tax?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So yeah, it's mad.
So obviously we were quite good friends for a while before we actually started working together, but I guess, did you have any reservations before working with me? Because a lot of guys think paying no tax isn't possible, and quite a lot of people are scared to do it. So yeah, it'd be good to see if you had any reservations or any doubts, or what you were thinking. Yeah,
it was just kind of the whole tax side of things. If you're doing it by yourself, it's quite complex. So that was a reservation I had. But obviously we had that call where you like initially found out about my business, and you kind of just made the whole process simple. Another reservation I had was, I was kind of in 2 minds if I wanted to be out the UK long term, if I wanted to be in the UK in the future. But like I say, I left properly 2 times, went back 2 times. Kind of just had the same feeling both times. Like, the networking potential when you're out in places like this is just so much better, and it just seemed like a no-brainer for my business, really. And
I think the thing with you, you were pretty much spending most of the year outside the UK anyway. So when you came to me, I was like, we don't actually have to change your life that much. I mean, we have to track your days and you have to stay within certain thresholds, but you were pretty much on the borderline of doing it anyway. So I think your life didn't actually change that much. Just a few tweaks and a couple of plans.
It was just more so like switching my mindset, to be honest. But yeah, once you do that, it's like you just feel so much better about everything.
Yeah. So long-term plans then, what are your plans in terms of scaling, personal, where do you see yourself living? Because I know obviously it's different for everyone, like you're obviously in Vietnam, you've got clients in Dubai, clients in Bali.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself, or travelling around? What does that
really,
look like?
It's hard to say. I just really like travelling around, trying new places, and yeah, I just want to try and scale my business as much as possible at the minute.
Okay, yeah, so I guess one thing I'd like to know, I guess, was it a bit of a surprise to you that you can live in Southeast Asia and pay little to no tax? So I get a lot of guys coming to me saying, you know, I want to leave the UK, but I don't want to live in Dubai. So I guess, did you think Dubai was the only option? I mean, what do you think about that?
To be honest, yeah, I did, because like a lot of what you see online is just people moving to Dubai, saying Dubai's 0% tax, and then you kind of think that's the only option.
Yeah.
Just because it's pretty much all you see online.
Yeah,
but it's good to know like there's more options, to be fair, because you know the Dubai lifestyle doesn't suit everybody. Certainly doesn't suit me.
Definitely not you, but most people they think, you know, you have to go live in Dubai, and it's often always not the case. You know, you can do Southeast Asia pretty well, like you are, got clients everywhere. If you had to quantify, what would you say your return on investment would be? I know it's hard to say, but
yeah, it's hard to kind of work out the number off the top of my head, but when I think about it, your offer's kind of a no-brainer once you're making a certain amount of money, because it's either pay you less or pay HMRC more. So why would I not just give you the money and have a nice lifestyle?
Yeah, you probably made that money back. Well, you have made that money back in month one. Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah, so obviously before working with me, I know you had your old accountants, and I think they were just like your basic UK accountancy firm. I know you were quite apprehensive to leave them.
Yeah.
I guess, why is that? Did your old accountants realise that it was possible? Because a lot of accountants I find, people work with like family friends or like your basic accountants, and when you say to them about moving overseas, a lot of them just shut it down immediately. So I guess, did you speak to anyone else, or did you have apprehensions about leaving and going ahead with me?
So I kind of briefly mentioned it to my accountants, but obviously they're not specialised in the field. So yeah, they did kind of brush it off, which I understand because it's quite a specialist area.
Yeah.
That's why I felt like quite confident with you, like being chartered, specialised in remote tax. I think it helps as well, like we're a similar age.
Yeah, of course.
Like, a lot of accountancy firms, you're always working with like kind of a different generation of people, but you know, it's good because like we can work together on like more like a friendly basis rather than, you know, I'm your client, but it's more like just on good terms, you know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like I say to everyone, it's like it's better to be friends with. Like we were friends for a long time before you become a client, and when you actually said I want to become a client, I was actually happy, because I thought, okay, it finally means you're going to scale, because I was telling you for like almost a year.
I know, man.
Like,
I just
you
needed
need to do this, and then and since you've done it, like you said, you've probably 5x your business, saved multi 5 figures in tax, and you pretty much changed your life, I'd say.
Yeah.
In like, what, 6 months?
I know. It's all it takes is a couple of months of changing things around, and things can completely change, to be honest.
So going forward, then, obviously to wrap it all up. Actually, not to wrap it up, but where do you see yourself in the next couple of years, business and personal?
I just want to keep travelling, keep making money, save on tax, grow the business, and have some really good life experiences with the money I'm saving.
You think tax allows you to do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Be interested to know, after living overseas, paying no tax, obviously living this lifestyle we're living, do you have any plans on returning back to the UK?
Not right now.
No?
Not right now.
I don't blame you, man. It's, it's not a place to be, is it?
Nothing else to add to that, really, just hard no.
And I guess just to wrap it all up, if someone's watching this, who are in the same position you were 6 months ago, and they're watching this video and they're considering going ahead or even leaving the UK or paying no tax, what would you tell them? Yeah,
I'd say if you're confident in your business, you like travelling, just bite the bullet and go for it. And like I say, Lewis makes the whole process super streamlined, so yeah, it's nice and easy, and couldn't recommend it more.
Appreciate the kind words. Well, we'll wrap it up there then. As you can see, we're in Hoi An, beautiful beachside villa, so probably go for a dip, smoke a couple of cigars and then enjoy the day.
Living the life.
Amazing. Cheers, Callum.
Thank you very much.